After 30,000 hours and 3 crypto bull runs, we discovered 7 rules to success in crypto that we follow blindly. Those 7 rules already led to incredible results, like rotating from Bitcoin to Ethereum before it went parabolic, or buying Zora at 0.025 cents before it made a 4x. So rule number 1 is holding the right altcoins at the right time. Because most people, they approach crypto like this. They think, okay, this coin has potential. I've made some analysis over here, so I buy this coin as well. And they end up with maybe coins that look good, but end up not performing at all through the whole bull run. And this is a mistake that we have made in the beginning as well, but we discovered that there are certain mechanisms in place that we can measure. And when we measure them, we automatically generate way more profits over the span of the bull run. So Jack, maybe you want to tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, so I think you started very well here. I think that, most people, they just buy some coins which they deem pretty good. They go on YouTube, Twitter, or maybe they even do their own fundamental analysis. They have a certain strategy on how to buy coins. But the main problem is that a lot of people just buy fundamentally strong coins, but at the wrong time. And in crypto, timing is the most important thing. So for example, I know a lot of people that bought Polygon, Arbitrum, Ondo, which, fundamentally are pretty good, but they only pump at certain times. So what happened often is that people would buy these fundamentally strong coins, but at the wrong time. Meaning when they bought it, maybe it was already hyped, it went up, but then it went down for multiple months, multiple years even. I know people that bought very good coins. And it's also not only for altcoins. You can do the same with BTC and ETH. You can just buy it at the wrong time. Yeah. But with altcoins, it's even harder because they dump a lot more. So what ends up happening is that they buy good coins and then maybe they go up a little bit, but most people don't know how to take profit. So what happens is that, for example, you buy Ondo or Link and then, price just goes down or sideways. And then eventually, when all other coins moon, you have a strong outperformance of these coins. But how we do it in general, in our program, in our private lives, is that we have developed a system which allows you to buy altcoins pretty much when they show strength and they have a very high probability of going up. And going up aggressively, because as you know, in the crypto markets, 70 to 80% of the time, coins move sideways, they go down, and only in 10 to maybe 20% of the time, depending on if it's a bear or a bull market, they go up aggressively. And we want to be positioned in such a way that we only buy them right before they go up exponentially. And for example, there's some good metrics. I will simplify it for the sake of the video because we teach our systems, which are a little bit more complex. Everyone can learn them, but I can tell you approximately how it works and hopefully it can help you as well. So if you're holding major coins, and especially in bull markets, you want your altcoin to outperform Bitcoin or Ethereum. Now, if you chart your coin versus Bitcoin or ETH, and it's going down versus Bitcoin or ETH, why would you take on more risk for more reward? You're earning more money by buying Bitcoin and ETH and Bitcoin. If they are in an uptrend versus your coin, you will make more money. Most people think, it's an altcoin, it goes up more aggressively. But oftentimes, no. Actually, when you hold BTC or ETH, you make more money. And people only associate altcoins with making a lot of money. But that's only 5% of the time, 10% of the time. So the first thing I think can help you a lot is just charting your coin versus ETH or Bitcoin, depending on which one is pretty strong at the moment. Maybe it's Sol. And you can do this on TradingView. You can do this on CoinGecko. It is pretty easy to do. I think we've made a lot of videos on that and Robin as well. And you can use simple stuff like a super trend indicator, right? There's way better ones. But for example, if Link is in an uptrend versus ETH and we're in a bull market, it means that ETH is going up, but Link is outpacing ETH. And we're finding this sweet spot where it's the beginning of the big uptrend of Link or Ondo or whatever you're buying, right? And we try to time it perfectly so that when we buy, it goes up directly. You don't have to hold it. You don't have to do your fundamental analysis. You don't have to hope, oh my God, I hope my coin is going to go up soon. I did all my research and now it's down 60%. Should I sell it? Or some other coins are going up, but I did some fundamental analysis, right? So we don't have this problem because no matter what coin we're buying, we know it's going to go up. It sounds weird, but it's pretty easy to do in my eyes.
It's not that complicated. For the ones who are interested, like in a deep explanation of that, I actually made a video about that. I will link it somewhere here. So I 100% agree with you. And like, it's also like when I think back to how we tried to find a coin which went up parabolic in the bull run, back in the days, it was like so time consuming. Like we spent hours researching projects, trying to understand like the ins and outs, trying to understand like the tokenomics. And once you understand like this basic concept of crypto, and that in the end, the fundamentals matter only so much. The only thing that matters is attention. And when you think, okay, I don't want to look at charts, all of that is like just nonsense. It isn't. Because think about a company in the S&P 500 right now. I would bet it's either Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, one of those four, maybe another one, if you're a bit more into this space. But why do you think of those companies as like one of the first that comes to your mind? It's not because like obviously they are also like a lot of people know those companies, but also because the prices of them went aggressively high over the years, and those were like some of the best performing stocks around the world. So when prices go up, this is actually an attention driver, and attention fuels those upwards movements in crypto even more or even faster. So you are actually trying to trade attention in crypto. And like you could have the best product, the best crypto project on earth. If no one cares about it, like nothing will happen. I have a good story about that. There was a guy who was like joining CryptoGameplan earlier this year. Let's call him Joe for some reasons. And he was very, very convinced of a project. Now, he believed so strongly in it that he put like 20% of his portfolio into this one coin. And he did that because his portfolio was rather small. It was like around $20,000. And he strongly believed in the coin and said, okay, if it like gets listed on Binance, if it gets listed on Coinbase, because it's such a good product, and I honestly agree with him, like it was a good project, like out of a fundamental perspective, like he invested in it, had like a big portion, like a big chunk of his performance was based on this coin, and it basically just went down. Like over the whole year just went down, and he could have went way safer with, for example, Ethereum or Bitcoin and made way more money. Like this is something that people have to understand, and you said it already, like altcoins perform during certain periods of the bull run, and then they are good holds, but over the rest of the bull run or at the beginning of the bull run, the safer options actually make you more money. And like I think most people like they look at Bitcoin and say, it's over already, or Ethereum as well. But yeah, like
I think the best example for that is just Ethereum, right? We didn't hold Ethereum. Like Ethereum went down from the time proof of stake got introduced, right? It changed from POW to POS in 2023. And since then, if you look at the Ethereum USD charts, it was down only, right? Except for the last months now. ETH BTC, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, was down only too, right? And Ethereum is probably the best play out there fundamentally after Bitcoin, right? So many people were holding Ethereum, hoping for it to go up. And I agree, I like Ethereum and I think it's one of the best projects out there. But does it mean that I will hold it all the way down? Does it mean that I will take a 60 to 70% loss versus Bitcoin? Does it mean that I don't time my stuff well and I just hope for it to go up at some point because I think that fundamentally it is a good play? No. Right? It might go up in the future, and if you have a long-term approach and you like to invest on a 5-year, 10-year horizon and you have other stuff to do, that's great. You can do that. However, if you really want to maximize your gains, and this is how we absolutely dominated the last month and will continue to do so in the bull run, is just by investing at the right time. Right? So we bought Ethereum pretty much when it started to go up. People were like, I'm buying ETH, it's fundamentally so good. I'm like, be patient. It's in a downtrend versus Bitcoin. You make more money by holding BTC. I know that Ethereum tends to go faster, higher, more explosive than Bitcoin, but you need to wait for the right time. Otherwise, you will get wrecked. And I made more money by holding USDT, Tether, stablecoins, whatever you want to hold, and Bitcoin than I would have if I only held ETH. And then what happened? Oh my God, okay, Ethereum is starting to have an uptrend versus Bitcoin. What did we do? We swapped our BTCs and stable coins for ETH, and we made 20, 30% in a few days, right? And this with a big majority of our portfolio. Afterwards, we rotated into smaller altcoins and made even more money. But you need to time it right. And I mean, Ethereum is just the best example of it, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too. And like one last thing regarding this rule, I think like if you do a fundamental analysis and understand the project really well, this is good, but this doesn't mean like just because you understand the project and think it has value, this is not directly correlated with you directly investing in it. It's good that you did research on a project and understand that it has fundamental value. Then the only variable that is currently missing for you is the timing. And if you combine both approaches, you have a pretty good way of investing.
You just make way more money.
Yeah.
You just make more money. That's it, right? And also your portfolio is less volatile because a normal equity curve, which in normal words is just like your account balance. Normally it goes like up in bull markets, down in bear markets. If it's a good coin and you're lucky, eventually it goes higher. So you have this up, down, up. But our equity curve, our portfolio value is up, maybe a little bit down, and when the trend is weak, we go out, so it's flat, right? And then we re-enter, so it goes up again, flat, up. So you don't have these big swings in your portfolio, which emotionally, to handle them, because I believe that most people don't even have a system, right? Because if you have a system, it's all right, you can weather the storm if you know what you're doing, okay? But you know, if you just look at the price of your portfolio and the big swings to the downside you have, many people get crushed. They sell at the wrong time, even though they are holding good coins. But this is like a big problem, and this is how we manage to dominate and never really lose big amounts of money and just keep a nice, steady move up in our portfolios.
Yeah, and one of the most important rules, hold the right altcoins at the right time. I think we can head over into the next one, which is like, we are talking a lot about like holding the right altcoins at the right time. And one thing that we already covered a bit is like rotations. Like back in the days, we played rotations like beginners. So we were chasing pumps all over the place. And the second rule is only play rotations with the right system. With a system at all for most people, I would say.
Yeah, they don't have
because they have no system. Their system is looking at Twitter and buying what pumps right now. But a lot of people, like, you are basically, like in the beginning we talked about like how attention drives the price up. And where is this attention being generated? Like most of this happens on social media. And when we think about our exits, like we exit when this attention span or when this attention graphs looks like a top or looks like it tops out. And those people are usually some of the viewers of this podcast, without any offense, but you play a PvP market, a non-zero game, where like if one wins, another one loses. So there's no wealth being generated in crypto. So you always take it from someone else who enters the game. And rotations work if you know how to play this game. So, and you are the rotation master. like you don't see a lot of Jack. You only see me most of the time. But Jack is like, when it comes to understanding big rotations, he built a system which is so precise that we basically managed to hit every single big rotation that has happened over the past years. So I think you can...
Yeah, I think like Zora, which you mentioned at the beginning, is a pretty good example. We got notice out of it from a member of our group who's an excellent guy. I don't know if I can dox his name, but he's a very excellent guy. And this is what we do. We share all the best coins between each other. And then we have our systems which we apply on the best coins on top of that. So what happens, what most people do, is they hold good coins. It's pretty much the same like we talked before. And then they see other coins going up, right? In a bull market, it's not all coins go up together, maybe in 1-2% of the time where everything just goes up. But what happens is capital rotates from narrative to narrative, from big coins to mid coins to small coins. And what people do is they chase pumps, meaning they buy a coin, they see another one going up and they're like, oh my God, I need to buy this. It's going up only. And then they buy this coin and then their coin goes to the moon, right? And they're like, shit, you know? And to avoid that, everything comes back again to the systems which we have built, which let you rotate at the exact right time so that you do not chase pumps, right? You do not look at other sectors going up, chasing the pumps, because you are already in the hot ones. Like for Zora, there was a very clear uptrend versus ETH. And the key to our system is to be very aggressive at early signs of strength. And this is where you swap your coins. As soon as you see the first signs of strength, you charge your coins versus ETH. You look at the volume, you look at the activity on Twitter, on social media, you look at 10,000 other factors, and then you aggressively just rotate into it. Don't think too much about it. And then most of the time, it just goes off directly, and then you just place your capital in it, it goes off, then the trend starts to weaken, and then other coins have strong trends as well, and then you play the next rotation aggressively. And so there is a way to take pretty much every single rotation, right?
Yeah, and I think one thing that you have to understand, like you quickly talked about Twitter. We don't look at Twitter like in terms of who is posting about it, like can I trust this person? We look at data in terms of how many people posted about it.
Yeah.
How much attention is flowing into this project. We actually don't give a damn about like who is talking about it, as long as people start following the project, start viewing the posts, and if the social stats are going up, this is what we look at when we talk about Twitter. So this is also something that you have to understand. Like most people look at social media to gain their alpha, but for rotations, social media, like gaining your alpha from like 4 rotations from social media is like the fastest way to lose money.
Not just from rotations.
Yeah, for basically everything. Okay, for everything. But like specifically, let's talk about rotations. So when you try to rotate, like think again about the attention game we are playing. So when you see big accounts posting about a good project, where do you think this attention graph is? At the beginning or at the end? Like how many more people can post about it, right? So look at data and try to create, like when we talk about systems, a system is basically just looking at a bunch of data and helping you to make a decision. So try to find like points which give you a clear direction on where the market is heading or which rotation is likely to happen next.
Yeah, that's also a very good example was the beer coin, right?
Yeah.
Like we have some German guys we talked to, and we went into beer pretty early, and some guys into our community as well, because they know how to play rotations. They chart the coin versus ETH, BTC. They see it's in an uptrend. It's gaining momentum. Volume is there. Boom. We go in at the beginning aggressively, right? We teach how to find this, which indicators to use, etc. And then this is how we played it. We went in early. Once again, I got the call from our group, right? We just find coins and then we apply our system on top of the coin. So we got the call again from someone in the group, just mentioning the coin, which we were, okay, it's interesting. Chart it versus the dominant coin, like Bitcoin, ETH. I think at the time it was even Solana. And then it went up, got in aggressively inside, and then we exited once the trend shifted back again. But now if you look through the lens of someone else, this is a very good example regarding what you said about social media and Twitter. Most people don't even know this coin exists. And then they see it on Instagram. And actually the biggest rapper in Germany, Luciano, he's called at the moment, he posted, I don't know how much they paid him to do that, but he posted it. And this is where most of the people got aware of the coin. It pumped maybe for a little bit after he posted it. Now what do you think happened after? It just went to zero.
Play rotations based on data, not on social media.
Exactly. This is data versus social media.
Yeah. You are exit liquidity if you follow people on social media, and you are smart money if you look at data and play based on that. That's pretty much it for this part. But we have a perfect transition to rule number 3, finding alpha in crypto with the right people. All right. We first have to declare what are the right people, because like this is a very vague term. Like, is the person who knows how crypto works the right person to talk to? Or like, how do we classify the right person?
So in crypto, I would classify someone reliable and someone I can trust. It's a lot about volume, how long you're in the game, and obviously we also not only just teach crypto, but we teach a mindset. And this mindset is helping others. It's sharing our information. Every day I share my portfolio with everyone, and then we all make pretty good gains. And then it's just positive reciprocity. They look at our stuff, we help them, and then they see, oh, okay, these guys are helping me, so I find a new coin and then I'll just post it, and because I think it's good. And then just being aware of these coins, because there's so many coins, there's information overflow. And if people think exactly like you, they're hungry, they have good work ethic, they know where to look for plays, and we teach all of this. So they know where to look, what to really consider, is a coin good or bad? We have filters for that, which saves you a tremendous amount of time. I know some people who go through CoinGecko, through every single coin to see if it's good or bad. For us, we have a filter where in 5 minutes, it's good, bad, boom, next one, good, bad, next one, boom. So you can go through so many coins in such a short period of time that, I like team players, and I believe this is the most important mindset you need in a group. Yeah. Right? Because in most groups, it's one guy sharing plays, and you just have lazy people who want to make money by doing nothing, right? But it's oftentimes you just have one guy and the rest is just like his exit liquidity, where they don't provide any value, they're not hungry, they just want to make money with zero work. Yeah. And this doesn't work out.
This doesn't work out. I think another thing that you said in the beginning, which is also very important, is that you can trust the person who is providing information. And this was actually a struggle for us. Like, we joined like a dozen of groups. Like, we've been in every group on this earth. Let's say it like that.
Really? I spent 6 figures on groups.
A lot of money went into that, because we also, we understood that in crypto, you make money by gaining more information in a faster way than other people in the space. Now, the problem with that is that, let's say you join a group of 1,000 people. All of them post hourly. Like, you have a bunch of information. And the problem is that you maybe gain a lot of information, but it's not filtered. And you can't trust those people, so you have to filter all of those projects yourself. It's like going to CoinGecko and just scrolling down the list of coins that are available. It's like nothing else. It's exactly the same. It's like another CoinGecko, and you paid money for that most of the time. Yeah. So you have to understand what kind of education those people went through, how they received their information, and why they believe in a coin. And once you have that, just imagine yourself going through an educational program and really understanding how the market works, and being in a group with people who also went through that same education, or they had to go through that same education, otherwise they wouldn't be with you in that room. And imagine how high the quality of information is and how much you can trust this information within this program, within this group of people. And this is actually why we build CGP. It's not for, we educate people, not for the sake of educating them, but for the sake of creating people with the same filter that we have, in order to generate high quality alpha, and creating this machine that just generates information and ideas every single day. This is how we found Zora. This is how we found Bloom. This is how we found, there were so many places. Arcadia, good old shitcoin. Yep. This is how we did the rotation with all the people from Bitcoin into Ethereum. There were so many plays in the past couple of weeks that I can't even remember all of them. Athena.
Yeah, man, it's just exactly like you said. For me, I also have a small story about that. I got into a very high level group with very rich people. And I was told this was one of the best crypto groups on there. And then there were maybe 2-3 guys that were pretty good with crypto. But I was pretty surprised how little everyone knew in the group. I thought it was a very high level thing. Turns out they were very high level in their respective fields, but when it comes to crypto, I was surprised, and they had a lot of money trading with a lot, but they didn't know anything. And then I look at our guys, which go through our training camp in 1, 2, 3 months, and I'm like, damn, our guys are 10 times better than these guys. And so we just make sure, like you said, if you have a set of people going through the right education and having the same level as you in a short time, because we make sure, we studied this psychologically seen as well, how people can have the fastest learning curve possible. And we implemented this, with what we do, and people get to a very high level very fast. And sometimes I forget it, right? And I see our guys that are in the group since 2-3 months. I'm like, damn, that's a very solid level. And I can already work with them and I enjoy it, because they're pretty much not on your level directly after 2-3 months, but they have a good level already where they can find interesting stuff, where they share new ideas. And I'm like, wow, man, you've been in this program for 6 months and you are sharing so much valuable and new insights, which even I haven't really looked at. So if you have a team where everyone works together as a group, everyone helps each other as a good heart, this is probably also number one, because in this space there's just so many scammers, just people that create groups and they're like, man, this coin is going to go up, and it's a shit coin of 20 million, which is pretty much 90% of all groups. And then what happens is, oh my God, all the 1,000 people in the group buys. Obviously, the price is going to go up. And obviously, everyone's going to be like, oh my God, this guy is a god. He shared this, and then the coin goes up, and then it just goes to zero, right? But if you have a community where everyone helps each other, everyone actually likes each other, and everyone is like friends with each other, and you exchange value, everyone knows what they're talking about, this is like how you win. And you always win if you have a solid group of people. Alone, it's very hard. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just a lot of work. You have to be like pretty autistic about it. You have to be like 16 hours a day. I mean, and without guidance, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's just way better. It's more fun. It's easier. It's just 100 times better when you have a nice team and you combine your efforts, new edges, someone building on top of your system. We have many new coin recommendations which I and Robin don't have time for. Apply our systems on that. Everyone makes money. Everyone is happy. And that's what makes a good killer team.
Yeah, 100%.
And this is why this bull run, we already in the last 3 months, we crushed it. And yeah, I think that everyone else is missing out just trying to do it alone. And I'm so excited for the rest of the bull market.
100%. So no matter what you do, create this killer team. It's mandatory for success in crypto. All right, we could talk about that, I think, for another hour or so. But let's head into the next rule, which is the top avoidance formula. Now, we covered systems a bit. I think here we need to go a bit like one level deeper, because I think most people they look at one coin and like solely focus on that. Like they are hyper focused on this one altcoin, but they forget that the crypto market is highly correlated, and when Bitcoin tends to go down, altcoins also tend to drop pretty fast. So you have to have a formula which gives you clear top signals for the broader market. Because otherwise you are like, maybe you are not hitting. I talked to a person recently. She was talking about Fibonacci levels and how she prepared her exit strategy. No front at this point. We had a very good chat. So, and I think I helped a lot in this call alone. So she had Fibonacci levels, and I asked her, okay, what do you do when Bitcoin starts dropping? And she said, I don't know. And the problem is, like, people tend to focus on one coin, but forget like that the altcoin market is heavily correlated to crypto. So once you start building your system, you have to start with the big picture first. And we are big believers in this like idea or mental model that we start with a big picture and then start working our way down. When I started, I also tried to like figure out like how to create an exit strategy for like one specific altcoin or one entry strategy for one specific altcoin. And I was looking at support and resistance levels, and I was like, okay, Fibonacci retracement here. So I set my exit at a 4x. But I had like my opportunity costs were so high, or not just the opportunity costs, also my losses were high because I was so fixated on this one specific project. And this is something that you can't do in crypto. So Jack, when you would give like 3 advices on how to build like this big picture first that helps them to understand, okay, when do we have like a top in crypto? What would you say?
You actually read my mind, because I was about to give three lessons, which is crazy. But if you want to really keep it simple, and just a little intro, like most people, you know, they see stuff on social media, they don't have a system. We always talk about systems, but it's the most important thing. You need a clear set of rules, a framework. What they do is they look at opinions, they look at euphoria, they look at their feelings, they look at the chart without even knowing what to look out for, when to enter, when to exit. I'll give you high alpha, which is very simple and where you can outperform 99% of people. And we are building pretty much on top of this system and taking it to another level. So I'll present you a basic system which you can use, which everyone can use. It's extremely simple. And what we do is a professional version of it to make 10 times more gains than with a basic system. So first of all, you chart Bitcoin versus USD. You look, you take some indicators. Is it in an uptrend or is it in a downtrend? Good. If Bitcoin is in an uptrend, you are allowed to hold cryptocurrencies. If Bitcoin is in a downtrend, you should rather not hold cryptocurrencies. Second, if Bitcoin USD is green, it's in a positive uptrend, Bitcoin is going up, you take your altcoin, you chart it versus BTC, and then you enter it only if the indicator is green or if it's going up. Then you monitor your position, you look at the BTC USD trend, is it green, is it red? You look at your altcoin BTC ratio, is it green, is it red? And based on that, you enter or you exit. Multiple scenarios. Let's say Bitcoin USD is green, I buy Bitcoin. All altcoins which I'm looking at are red versus Bitcoin. It means I will only hold Bitcoin. Then I take Link, for example, or Ondo, and it is green, it is positive versus Bitcoin. I will swap my Bitcoin for Link, right? Which means Bitcoin is kind of like the motor of the market, and if it goes up, everything goes up. Right? It's like the engine of the car. And then it means, oh, cool, everything's going up, and my altcoin is outperforming Bitcoin, meaning I can buy this coin and I can hold it. This is the entry scenario. Now, what happens if Bitcoin versus USD turns red on your indicator? What you do is you do not sell your altcoins directly. You wait and you're like, okay, is my Link versus BTC still in a green uptrend? Then, yeah, okay, you can still hold your altcoin, but as soon as the trend reverses and Link versus BTC becomes red, you swap back into Bitcoin, right? And then you look back again. Is my Bitcoin red? If it is red, you sell your Link directly for USD, or if you want it simpler, you just swap back to Bitcoin and then you look, okay, is BTC USD green or not? If it's red, you just sell your Bitcoin for USDT, right? And if Link versus Bitcoin is red, but BTC versus USD is green, you just hold Bitcoin again and you wait for another altcoin to be green versus Bitcoin to hold it, right? So this is pretty much very, very simple. Everyone can do this. You can do this on TradingView with very basic indicators. And just alone with this trick, you outperform 99% of traders.
By the way, you also outperform buy and hodl.
And you outperform Bitcoin, which is the main point. And no one outperforms Bitcoin.
It's like extremely difficult for the ones who are a bit more advanced. You can backtest that strategy. It's outperforming. So high alpha. It sounds extremely simple, and it actually is.
But no one follows it because no one has a strategy and they all want quick gains. They're greedy and they trade based off emotion. They chase pumps. Just look at the data, man. Delete Twitter, delete Instagram, delete TikTok. Just frying your brain. Just look at what I told you right now, this framework. Just look at this and blend out everything else. You don't even have to watch our podcast if you want. You don't even have to read Robin stuff. I don't care. Yeah. Right? Just make sure to apply this and you'll make money.
You want to know a funny story? I've made a video about that.
Actually, no. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Go ahead.
I've made a video about that. Like, I already put like one level above that or on top of that. So if you're interested, again, check that out. And I think out of the, I don't know how many people viewed it. Only two applied it.
Yep.
So, and both of them, they spam me now because they like, for them, the investment into CryptoGameplan is a bit too high. They have a smaller portfolio. It's around $2,500 or so. And they spam me now with wins. Like nearly every day I get a message of this guy telling me, like either he asks me a very smart question because he understood the concept, or he posts or shills me like a coin and says, okay, I'm already up like 20% on that one. I'm 20% up on that one. I took profits on this one. Every single day with this simple system. And it's like everyone makes it so complicated when it isn't. You just need a good system. And having a base system allows you to be profitable, and everything which comes after just increases the profitability of the system immensely. And this is what we do at CryptoGameplan. So we gave you basically the alpha already.
We gave you the alpha. I think I explained it in pretty much 60 seconds. You have all the alpha in the world. And even if you don't like us, you don't want to, like be part, you don't want to work with us, at least apply this 1 minute knowledge and spam Robin with wins.
Please.
You don't even have to listen to us. Just do this. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we can leave it at that, right?
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Oh, the next one is a good one.
Classic.
Most investors make money in bull runs. This is a fact, but most investors lose it again when the market goes into a bear market. I think our rule is basically have a system, and those rules just look out of a different angle on it.
Yep.
So what you have to understand is that you have to take profits. The crypto bull run will not continue forever. And even if you wish to get rich after one bull run, for most people this is not the case. You have to be happy with taking profits. It's so crucial that eventually you start taking profits, not into Bitcoin, but into USDT, into our beloved US dollars. Even if the inflation rate is high, you don't want to continue holding crypto for the rest of your life. With Bitcoin, you could theoretically do that, but we are into like optimizing your portfolio performance, so we would rather not do that. What can we add to that part? I think we covered a lot already.
Yeah, like the way how you dominate the bull market, as you said, like most people make a lot of money in bull markets, but no one keeps it. I had a lot of friends back then, and a lot of people in 2020, 2021, they came to me, they were like, yeah, man, I made these many millions, I made these many 100K. And if you check on them later, like 6 or 12 months later, they don't answer back if you ask for them. They're like, yeah, man, I don't know, or yeah, it's good. But you don't see the stories anymore. You don't see anything anymore. So it's pretty much, I think that's a good analogy. It's like climbing the Mount Everest. Did you know that most deaths happen on the way down and not the way up? It's exactly the same in crypto, right? You can make it to the top, but if you don't go safely down, you might die, right? So we just have a very good exit system. I'm not saying that we will sell the exact top, but we will sell with big gains at pretty much within 10 to 15% of the top, which is pretty guaranteed for big coins, and for smaller ones, they can go down a little bit more. But, this is just one of the most important things someone needs to learn. So once again, I advise everyone just to have a clear framework, because you will be greedy. Everyone on social media, when the tops happen, everyone says it's mathematically impossible for crypto to go down. It's a new paradigm, MicroStrategy, super cycle. Nation states are buying Donald Trump. He's this, that. It's impossible, man. You don't get it. All right, man. My data is saying that we're starting a downtrend. Let's chat in 6 months, and then that's it. We go out with profits. We're patient again. We look at the data. When is the time to re-enter? But the most important thing in a bull market, everyone is a genius. Everyone makes money. You don't even really need skill at the very end of the bull market. You don't need skill, right? You can just buy some stuff and it's going to go up. But that only lasts for 3-4 weeks, maybe 2 months if you're lucky, maybe even 6 if it's a crazy period like 2020, 2021. But then if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get wrecked. So many people made so much money in 2020 and 2021. But if I look today, where are they? Where are they? I saw so many posts, so many people flexing. Where are they now?
I would say somewhere at a McDonald's, not eating, but working 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's not bad, right? I mean, everyone can do whatever they want, but I believe
for sure.
If you really want to make money, you need to master exits. And that, again, is pretty simple, and you can use my 1-minute framework. Just use it forever.
The 1-minute framework. I want to see how many people made like a bunch of money with this like 60-second frame.
This is all you need, guys.
Yeah. Don't get greedy. Like when your data tells you, I think this is like one important thing. Do what the data is telling you to do.
Yes.
Don't think you are smarter than that. Like when your stomach tells you, we might go up a little bit further. Maybe you're right. Maybe we go up like 5% more. But in the end, like your data is never emotional.
Yes.
You are. Under any circumstances, follow your system.
You don't know how many times I'll look at my indicators. I'm like, fuck, like shit, I don't want to get out of this. I really want to hold it. And then, 2-3 days later, I'm like, thank God I did it.
Yeah.
And also we have like supporting indicators. We have our own website, which is, it's pretty much in development, but it's going to get pretty developed soon. And we have some very unique and counterintuitive exit signals, which I really haven't seen before, and all put together. So we also have extra data, which I really don't see often online.
Or behind paywalls.
Yeah, behind paywalls. Like we copied some of my favorite indicators, which I was paying $500 a month for. I just calculated myself, and we have it on our website right now. and a set of other data as well, which are very counterintuitive and very interesting. And you just need a set of rules, look at data, use my framework, use the CGP framework. Robin has so many, there's so much alpha there. You just need to apply it. And I mean, it's out there already. You just need to follow it.
Yeah, it's not that complicated. Don't overcomplicate it. And I think one thing that we have to say when you use my systems that I was talking about on YouTube already, you really have to understand the system and how it works. You can't simply copy and paste the system and think that you will follow it 100% of the time, because you don't trust the system enough to follow it. You need to backtest it. You need to understand how it works, how the logic works, to be confident in your decisions. You're confident in your decisions, even if your stomach is turning around, because you know that the system works. And there's a good book about making clear decisions. The name is, I think it's Clear
Thinking.
Clear Thinking. Good decisions come also from knowledge and from confidence. And you gain confidence by gaining knowledge. And in terms of our systems, this is understanding how the system works and then backtesting it. And through this process, you gain the confidence which is required for you to follow the system. So don't think that you can simply copy and paste the system. It's not that easy. This is also why, even if you have the best system on earth, let's say the best trader on earth is giving you his trading signals, I can guarantee you that the trader makes a good amount of money with it, while the beginner, the noob, who's emotional, doesn't have tested the system, is not trusting the system, is still going to lose money because he's still going to act emotional. So gain confidence to make the right decisions using the right system. All right, should we go to the
last and final point, which is actually a very interesting one.
Yeah.
Because this makes us, I think, very different, and this is the mindset we have adapted across many facets of our lives. And I believe that most of you have noticed that since Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market have become highly institutionalized, highly driven by TradFi, it is not the same. It is not the same as in 2021. It is not the same as 2018 or 14. The game has changed dramatically, not only affecting Bitcoin, but affecting altcoins mainly, because they have changed in behavior the most. And the last thing we think is one of the most crucial things, and it's one of our core values, is to be adaptable and as fast as possible. If we have a new metric, if we see that there's a change into the market behavior, we change it in 24 hours. I have a new module, I have a new course. I'm like, hey guys, things have changed, right? Because of this and this and this. You cannot use old methods all the time. You have to be adaptable, and you need to be able to make changes fast, because most people adapt, but they adapt way too slowly. It's like, for example, if there's a new algorithm on Instagram and you're the first one who knows exactly, I need to do this, this, and this, and I'll generate more views, until the rest notices it, the trend's already gone, right? Exactly. And if you use it directly, there's a massive discrepancy of information based on the speed upon you act on this information. And this is what we try to do, and we have pretty much nailed it. I have to say, in the last months, it was not always like that, but I believe in the last 6 months and even in the last year or 2 years, we have been able to adapt so fast to new trends, so fast to new developments in crypto that, we can maybe give some examples, or maybe you have some examples, clear examples, or some value which you can give them directly on how to be adaptable for new things, and how you can transform this knowledge maybe into a framework.
I think one of the best examples is actually the last pump in December. Because I know so many people who thought, okay, now we have the same altcoin season again, everything will be the same, everything will go through the roof directly. And they completely ignored events like that Trump is coming into office and is going to have tariffs which will dump the market.
Launch a meme coin.
Oh, yeah, this was right. I think only a very small percentage of people actually expected that, but people were too far ahead in terms of where they thought the cycle actually is. They thought in this classic 4-year model, okay, after 6 months after the halving, we will see a big bull run. And they were prisoned in this old mindset of how Bullruns usually went on. So they bought their classical shitcoins. Some of them actually made money with like stuff like XRP in December and thought, okay, this is going to be like the game. This is like how the bull run will like continue now. And they ignored macro. They ignored events like that Trump is coming into office and it will introduce tariffs. So the cycle was way shorter because like less liquidity went into high risk altcoins. There were some amazing plays, but the overall time span of this like, we can't even call it a bull run, but of this like short explosive period, like most people thought it will just continue. So when we talk about adapting to new environments, like one thing that we focused on way more now, also because TradFi is influencing Bitcoin more and more and more, is actually looking at the even bigger picture, not just at crypto, but also at macro. And how does macro influence crypto? And we were really fast with like the adaptation of like this new component and introduce it into our system. And now we not just look at crypto, we look at liquidity. How is like the liquidity developing? And based on that, we make assumptions for Bitcoin. And as we learned right now, like a couple of seconds ago, Bitcoin is leading the way for altcoins, and or not just leading the way, also destroying the way for altcoins. So this is, I would say, a very good example. And right now, I think we can give some good alpha here. Now people are prisoned in that thought, okay, the bull run will only be as short and as in December. And because of that, they are very conservative with the period of how long they hold their altcoins. And like this comes back to the system that we have. Even if they look at the system, they get like anxious and think, okay, back in December, it was a good time to exit after like 1 or 2 months. Should I exit now? Should I continue holding? Even if the system is telling me to continue holding, should I do that? And I think this is one way how we adapt really, really fast. I think maybe you have like another good example for that.
Yeah, I think two of the main points of being able to adapt very fast is me and my team, we look at charts and data every day, every single day. So if you do this and if you have a routine, we also, tell people how to have a nice routine, a little one, it doesn't have to be long, 15 to 30 minutes every day is 100% enough. And what happens is if you look at data daily, eventually you see some stuff changing. You see a little tweak here, a little stuff here, which, are kind of anomalies, which you haven't seen before. And you're like, this is interesting. And then you start to analyze it, and then you can build your frameworks on top of that. So I think just staying in the markets every day, no matter what happens. For me, I haven't gone a single day without analyzing the markets for years. It just makes it much easier to grasp the small differences, the new things which are coming into the markets, new dynamics, new relations between assets, between institutions, between people, right? So I think just being in the market and just looking at data every day, I'm not talking about social media, and you cannot really stay up to date with watching news because no one knows what to look at. We look at data every day. We look at charts, we look at relationships, we also look at some news, some macro events, what is happening. And then I think the number two is, we already talked about it, but having a good team, which also do the research, because 2 pair of eyes see more than 1 pair of eyes, right? So you always have your team, your brothers, your sisters, everyone who's in your community has your back. So maybe you don't notice something, but they notice something. They're like, man, this looks kind of weird. And you're like, wow, that's actually true. And I haven't looked at it. And they give you new perspectives, and they can all, if you work together, there's just more eyes and everyone can adapt very fast. Right? Because all you need is one guy noticing it. And we had this many times, when some people showed us, for example, new narratives. We have a narrative call every week where people just present new things. And there's many new projects, which I was like, damn, this was not on my radar. And they come with new stuff, the base ecosystem. For a while, there was this ICM, which was kind of a scam, but some of our members jumped into it. They used our systems, entered, and then exited. Or we had so many great RWA plays from people finding Kita very, very soon. Zebek, Euler, Syrup Finance. I heard about all of these things way before they went up, way before they went mainstream. Same with AI agents in October. We were the first ones to find this new niche. Why? Because we were looking and analyzing all the time. And by doing that, you see new patterns, you see new things emerging, and just by being the first one, you can directly adapt into it. So the speed of information in a group is just much faster, more efficient, and more reliable as well. And you can adapt much faster into trends if you can spot small differences very early on.
I think we have two good examples here. We have like the big picture example and the small picture example. It's just like when we break it down to the core, it's just understanding when a new data point enters the system and is influencing our decision making. So let it be a new narrative or a new macro data point which is starting to influence crypto more heavily. So understanding like the different points of data and having a clear picture on how they like influence your positioning. So I think we can end it here, right? We gave so much information already. I think if you're watching this, your head is maybe like blowing off right now because there's so much stuff inside of this long conversation that we had. So, and I actually enjoyed it a lot.
It was great.
And we didn't do a podcast for a while now. I think
it's great being back.
We should do some more regular uploads again.
We're cooking.
But we are focused on the market, so it's hard to like do everything at the same time. But
we're dominating the bull market, absolutely crushing it right now, but we'll try our best to keep you guys updated and give as much value as possible.
And if you have interesting ideas that we should talk about, we're always open to that. Just let us know in the comments. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel. Our goal right now is to hit the Ethereum price. And when I had this idea, Ethereum was actually at $2,100. And now we have to have 3,000. Where is it right now? 3,000 and
3,800. Yeah, 3,700. Yeah.
So now we have to get like a bit more subscribers, but this is a goal. So help us with that.
Yeah, I never heard about this.
Yeah, it was in my head for.
That's good.
Yeah. Since Ethereum was at 2,100.
Let's go. Let's catch ETH. Let's catch
ETH. And after that, we aim for Bitcoin.
Yep.
All right. All right. Hopefully this happens before the next 10 years, because otherwise we have to reach 1 million followers, which is quite a lot for a crypto channel. Let's see.
And then we take Bitcoin divided by XRP or some... No, not XRP. No, that was dumb. Like Zebek or something with a very low price. Exactly.
Shiba, you know.
Do Bitcoin divided by this.
We have
That's our next target.
Subscribers than Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
All right. So let's wrap it up. See you guys in the next podcast episode. It was a pleasure. And Jack, thank you for being here. And see you
in the next one.
See you in the next one. Bye-bye.